Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at a Vanguard mirror matchup on Secluded Grove, and this is going to be versus Albino, actually. He's one of the best Vanguards there are, very nice guy, we play quite a bit. And we're going to be starting off with both the barracks and some light complaining about how broken Celestial is. Then I'm going to be just scouting with my dog. He's going to be doing the same on his side. His dog's about to show up on the minimap there. And it's going to start doing the exact same thing my dog's doing, which is attacking. And the reaction we both had was to try and surround the dog. So you can see I surround mine, he surrounds mine, he gets mine, and somehow his slips out. I'm not sure how or why his slipped out and mine didn't. He must coat his dogs in some type of oil so that they can slip through that. That looked like a full surround to me. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't see that his dog got out. I thought I killed it. And so I'm calling us both noobs, even though it's just me who's the noob. And he is about to inform me that it is in fact just me who is the noob, because his dog lived. I'm going to be going into dogs here, which is kind of the standard for the matchup, and I'm going to be sending a few of my workers to Therium. When you're going dogs, you don't send too many to Therium. Only when you're going into Exos do you send that 5 that I normally talk about. When you're going into dogs, typically I send 2, because you're going to need 100 for the upgrade into tier 2, and then you're going to need 50 for the actual dog upgrade itself. I am going to be starting off dogs just for some map control, but then I'm going to go into Exo and do some pressure there instead. So, you know, the dogs, the goal of them is just to do some pressure and some attacking, and that's because I saw he was going command center first. And that's the only reason I'm doing this. Hardly anyone goes command center first anymore, but if they are going command center first, if you get into their base and they've got no barracks and they're just mining luminite and making workers, typically means they're going into that command post first, and so you're going to be able to do that harassment that I'm trying to do here. I'm going to steal the health plant from him and stay on the thing. My Lancer actually got surrounded and he used overcharge, but that's good. He used overcharge, that's 25 less energy. For the Lancer, it's not a big deal. I'm going to chase down his dog, and I'm actually going to get it. But he's making a sentry post. He's force building that right away. And I'm going to pop in here and try and get another thing. Just delaying some mining time and trying to be annoying with the dogs I have. But behind this, I'm going to be going into Exos, like I mentioned. Since he's got the sentry post over there, I'm just going to try and keep running around here. Your dogs will never have to fight the Lancer. You can just run around. And I'm continually getting him to pull his workers and move them around and stuff, which is really good. And he's also getting a little bit stressed, I think. He's going to get another surround here. My dogs just, they're like Velcro. They just can't ever escape that Luminite node, but it's not a big deal. And there's also a bug where you can't return Therium properly on some of those guys. I'm not sure if you saw that, but not a big deal as well. Now that I've got all the Luminite and Therium, all the Therium that I want, I'm going to be sending my guys back over. I'm going to overcharge. I'm going to be building my expansion. My expansion is later, but it's not a big deal. I got a whole bunch of poking, a whole bunch of harassment. I'm not in the best spot, but I'm really not in the worst spot, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I made him build 2 Lancers, 2 sentry posts, and got a whole bunch of delayed mining time for a Lancer and a few dogs, which I think is worth it overall. I'm going to be sending my dogs around the map, both to heal and to get some scouting information, just to see if there's anything out there. And behind this, I'm going into Exo. I'm going to go in for a quick draw hustle as soon as I can, because that upgrade's very important. In most of the later videos I'm going to be uploading, you're going to see there's only going to be dogs. It very, very rarely goes into Exo, and it's very difficult because of how much money creep camps give. You really do need that map control, and so you need to go into dogs first. But since this was on the older version where creep camps didn't give that much, I'm fine to just go straight into Exo here, and I'm going to be heading out here to try and get the money from the watchtower. I'm going to grab the heal here. I'm going to let my dogs tank while the Exos shoot it. Exos do bonus versus heavy, and these demon guys are heavy, and so you can see I kind of crush it right away. And I'm going to micro my dog around so that it doesn't die.
Capture point secured.
Behind this, just continuing to add workers. I'm going to be adding my second and third barracks here. I'm actually going to snipe his dog, so finally it dies after a whole bunch of time. And behind this, I'm going to be sending both my dogs out again to scout what he's up to. How many workers he's got, how many units he's got. I'm going to see if I can make a move. Information is very important in an RTS game, so you always want to be using your scout. You want to keep it alive as long as you can. You also want to try and use it for as much information as you can. He's got one Lancer and one Exo, and then he's got one in the flak turret there. He does have an additional sentry post on the high ground, which I was a little confused about. I think maybe he thought there was a bigger threat than there is. But if he's that turtled up, it's not a huge deal. I'm going to go out on the map and I'm going to get some money. So I head towards his vision camp to try and take it. He doesn't have a lot of roaming army. He's got a lot of defensive army. And so I'm going to see if I can't just take that. And then see what I can do afterward. I do have my tier 2, so I'm going to upgrade all my Exos. That's 20% damage, health, and 1.0 range on it. And I already have quick draw hustle, and you're going to see that makes the world of difference in the fight. You can see he can't micro back. Been a miss micro by me. I meant to pull all of them forward, but I do snipe 2 of his Exos before he even gets anything off on me. And you can see that extra 1 range really makes a difference in the battles. I'm going to send one of my Exos back to go grab that healing fruit while I just poke the command post, and I'm going to shoot a little bit here. My guys always get the first shot off. You can see that. That tier 2 is really making all the difference. I'm going to position my dog up here. I'm going to get ready to use his howl ability so I can get a vision on what's going on. He's actually not repairing with his bobs. I think that was a mistake by him. I think he meant to be repairing with all of those, but they just he just clicked on them. And I'm going to snipe it, and I've got just so much more bio than him that I'm just going to take the game off him right away. And that's going to bring us up from 1035 to 1117. Okay, and welcome to game 2. I have a bit of a treat for you guys on this one. I'm going to be versus WinterGaming on Isle of Dread. WinterGaming, popular streamer, mostly plays StarCraft, but he also plays quite a bit of Stormgate. And so I'm going to get to go up against him. And so starting out, I'm just going to set my camera hotkeys. Sorry for the bit of a seizure. And I'm going to be going into Fast Expand into Bio. For the older patch, this was the most common thing. In the newer patch, the most common is Barracks first, into some creep camps, and then you go and expand after that. But since it's the older patch, I'm fine to just go straight into command post first. I'm going to be trying to find his Hexen, as per usual. I'm just trying to find his Hexen, get damage, spend energy, that sort of thing. And once I've got enough, I'm going to take my workers here and send them over to the natural. He actually did not keep his Hexen at home, but he didn't send it out on the same path as my dog either. So, bit of a mistake from me. I forgot to overcharge my workers before they left, so I got to kind of run them back real quick and then overcharge them and run them over to the other side. I'm going to catch where his expansion is. It's on the 3rd base location for me rather than, the natural there. I'm just going to drop my expansion as per normal. I saw that skull go by. I'm not sure if you saw that on the screen, but he does have his Hexen up there. There's the skull right there. And so I'm going to head back up with my dog to try and start harassing that Hexen. My natural is just going down. I'm just adding additional workers, and I'm just looking for the Hexen here to figure out where he is. I see him on the map there, trying to sneak past, and so I'm going to head back and grab that. And I'm going to start attacking him. He's going to drop the Infest right away. This was back when the skull was still bugged. It did 50 damage instead of 25, so I have to back out right away. But I'm just going to grab the healing plant and go straight back at him. And as per normal, once I have enough Luminite to be putting down my barracks while workers are still in production, I'm going to do that. And once my barracks starts, at some point during barracks production, I'll be moving those 5 workers to Luminite so I can get enough for Exos. Be going to try to get more information with my dog, see what he's making, see how much army versus imps he's got, and that sort of stuff. I'm also going to be trying to poke the Hexen a bit more if I could. He's got 2 Gaunts out and only 1 Conclave, so I know I'm pretty safe for quite a while. There's no amount of damage he can really do with the single production facility, so I'm just going to be moving up in tech. I'm going to be going for my biokinetics lab and just adding additional workers. We really focused in on my eco here and not too many units. So you can see there I go back in. He's only got 2 imps on that one, but I'm not super concerned. I still think that was pretty normal. And I see 2 more Gaunts coming out. That means he's going to start his creep camp soon. I did have that Lancer going across the map. If he was going to try and play super greedy, I was going to try and do some harassment. But with 2 more gaunts coming out, it's not worth it. Let's just turn it around and keep it at home just in case. I'm going to hover my guy near the speed camp. That's typically what Infernals take first, is speed camp or health camp with their units. So I'm just going to be trying to see when he goes for that. Behind this, I'm going to be adding my second, and soon after, I will be adding my third barracks as well. On 2 bases, you want to go for 3 barracks, remember, and you want a couple Lancers with a whole bunch of Exos to tank. And I'm going to catch his Hex in here. I'm just kind of popping back in and out to see what's going on and trying to get some scouting information. And I see he's heading towards the natural, so I'm just going to back out again and macro back at home. I see on the map he's taking the camp over there, and so that's why his Hexen was going in kind of that weird path. And so I know where his army is. It's on that side of the map still. You can't really take that camp alone. And I catch his Hex in here, but because he's in the camp, he's going to have infinite skulls, and so it's not really going to work out. I'm going to try and do a bit more damage to it just because, but you can see he's already cast an additional skull there, so I'm going to have to leave. Behind this, I'm continuing exo production and always continuing workers. Workers, those are the most important things. And I'm going to be, I'm just going to cancel this worker that's in production, honestly. Don't really care, because I need my tier 2. I wanted it a bit faster. I had the Therium for it, so I'm going to be doing that right away. I'm going to repair my dog, and I'm actually going to assign 2 to Therium because I assigned 1 off, and so it was, I'm lacking a little bit now. So temporarily I'm going to add that additional 1 in. It never hurts to add on a few more and then have to take them off if necessary. Typically my number is 5. You've seen in quite a few of the videos if you've watched in the past. 5 is a pretty good number, pretty solid. But in this case I took 1 off, and so I only had 4, and so I'm going to put 1 extra on to make it 6 for just a little while. I'm going to move across the map with this pretty modest attack. My quick draw hustle just finished. You can see the Biokinetics lab stopping its research there. That's because it just finished. And like I said, I'm just going to assign that 1 back so that we're back even. Just for a little bit I had it up bonus production, and now I'm just going to back out. My tier 2 is coming in right as I arrive, and he's going to be chasing my dog around a little, but not a big deal. I'm going to promote my Exos, always promote the Exos, and you can save a bit of energy to promote a Lancer if you want to get that bonus HP and tanking. I prefer the Exos in most cases though. One of his Fiends is going to be doing a bit of a counterattack, so I'm going to deal with that real quick, but not a big deal. And I'm just going to be kiting. I mostly want to keep the Exos alive, and so I'm going to pop the shield on one of my Lancers there just to keep him alive even though he's super low HP. And he's going to hit the Infest Circle, but he actually doesn't have any units here. And so far I've only lost 1 Lancer, and I've traded out quite a bit. You actually want to focus the skulls. That was one thing I did not do. When the skulls are approaching, you want to be trying to focus it. I'm just going to be doing a bit of fancy micro here. You can see I'm going to, there we go, I target it right there. And I'm going to be coming in with the rest of my Bioforce here. And my dog's going to get involved in the fight too, because why not? He's kind of the front line now that all my Exos are gone. I noticed that, you know, he's got a severe lack of units, so I'm just going to keep trying to put on the pressure. He keeps spawning Brutes, but they're very good versus Brutes. Exos are very good versus Brutes. And behind this I'm going to be expanding because I'm floating through too much money. And, you know, I want to be making workers and expanding. I'm going to focus down the Gaunts as soon as they come out. And I was just kind of sitting there in awe that he made a Weaver. I kind of forgot about that. Weavers are terrible. Never make Weavers versus Bio. Only make them versus Mech, because you can see what's about to happen here, so I'm just going to chase him all around. He's going to drop a Super Stone, but I'm just going to keep fighting. He's got such little army production coming out that I'm just going to focus down the Gaunts right away again. Supply blocked, nothing to see there, don't worry about that. Just going to upgrade my thing. And even though my units are like severely injured, I'm going to keep trying to press the attack. Going to snipe down that, and then again, you know, the Weaver, he's just terrible. He made a Magmadon as well. That's not the play either. Don't make Magmadons in low numbers, because you can see exactly what happens there. You just outkite him. I'm going to promote that Lancer to give him that bit of heal I talked about. Whenever units promote, they get additional HP. He's going to drop the Infest Circle, but it's not going to do anything. Focus the Gaunts again, because Gaunts are the only ones that can do damage. And in kind of a masterclass in kiting, I'm just going to completely demolish his army with this small amount of units. Back at home, I've got a whole group of Exos pooled up that I'm preparing for, and they're about to come across the map here. My macro is a little sloppy back at home. I do have the third base, but I needed my scrapyard a bit sooner, and I also need my fourth and fifth barracks. I'm going to be adding those now, but when you're microing, you tend to focus in a lot, and so, you know, these things can happen. I'm going to take this health camp here. My dog is going to die, but it's not a big deal. He served his purpose. And 2 of my Exos there are going to promote off the XP from that to tier 3. And that's absolutely huge. Tier 3 Exos are insane, have a bunch of HP and stuff. And so once my guys heal up, I'm going to add my 5th barracks there as well. Just kind of building out on the map since I have complete control. And now that they're pretty much healed up, I'm going to go right back in. I don't have any Lancers to tank here. You'll notice that. But it's okay because I shredded most of his army way earlier. I know he's got really low army count, and he expended a whole bunch of resources, and so I'm pretty confident in my ability to not need any tanking units. And I'm right, he's got hardly any army here. I've got about as many Exos as he's got units, and I'm going to rush forward with one guy and shield him. He does die in the end, but I'm going to completely dismantle WinterGaming with some nice micro. And that's going to move us from 1205 to 1252. Thanks for watching.